Welcome back to the channel. Today's topic is really going to be an important one. I don't say this too often, but this is a must watch because this topic has so much to do with the decay of our society and so much to do with narcissism that you're just going to want to see this. So, narcissism and the paradox of choice, it's crushing society. I talk about every once in a while the paradox of choice, but not nearly enough because it's really important. What is the paradox of choice? Basically, this is the idea that having so many options at your disposal actually makes decisions not easier, but far more difficult. So I'll give you an example. I love to fish. Say I walk into a department store and I'm looking for um, a worm harness for walleye fishing. They come in different colors. They have blades on them that spin, and they have several hooks that come out the back, one or two, sometimes three. And there's certain colors that work. Well, imagine that I walk in and the store has about maybe, let's say, 5 or 6 colors for the blade. Chartreuse, chartreuse and yellow, gold, silver, um, green, purple. Now, what if I walk into a store and they have literally every single color combination imaginable, hundreds, and I'm sitting there picking between all of these different shades of red, shades of green, shades of chartreuse, purples, blacks, and there's literally hundreds of kinds. And they have all different hook variations, all different types of spinner blades. Which one is easier to make a decision about what you're getting? The place that has 6 options or hundreds? Let's put it another way. You are going into allow your child to pick out a piece of candy or a candy bar at a store. They have an option of, let's just say, 15 things. It's a supermarket, it's a convenience store. Then you walk into another one, and maybe it's like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, and there is literally hundreds or thousands of options for what they can have. Which one is actually easier to make a decision? The one where there's just a few, just a 15 at the convenience store. This is the dilemma that we face today in the world, but not with things trivial like, spinner blades or candy bars. We face this dilemma today with people, particularly dating and relationships. And this has never been possible before, and you can imagine already probably where this is going. There is this belief that more is better. More options are better. More options bring more happiness. Not true. Not even remotely close to being true. You see, the way that the world used to work, guys, for all of human history, and I mean all of it, until about the last 10 to 15 years, you had to find someone in real life somehow organically for the most part. You had to meet somebody at an event or through school or college or at work or through an organization or through friends or family. And when you met that person, it meant a lot because you had to go through the work to actually meet them. It wasn't like this was happening every day, all the time, especially people that you're attracted to and that you like, right? I don't know about you all, but I'm very strange, and I know that. I am very, very seldom attracted to people. It's not that my standards are so high, it's not that. It's that I just am actually not attracted to people very often. And when I am, it's not like they're the supermodel. It's there's just something about them. But it's not often for me. So some of you might be that way too. So when you do meet someone in real life that you have attraction to and there's some kind of chemistry there, it matters. It's important. It was throughout all of history. We don't meet people that way anymore. Some of us do, but even then it's not common. It's not like you're going to meet people organically every day or even every week or month. Depends on what you do, what your social life is like. But for most of us who have jobs and we have things going on in our lives, we're not out rubbing shoulders with all sorts of diverse people all the time in these social settings. Most people are not. So it's unusual to meet someone that's available, that you have attraction to, that you actually can start a conversation with. It takes timing. There's things that have to happen. Well, the internet came along and changed all that. And then what happened was smartphone mainly came along and changed all that. Because what the smartphone really is, guys, is the internet in a mobile version. You can take the internet everywhere you go and check it in your car, at work, sitting in a lobby, laying down before bed, waking up in the morning. Everywhere you go, that phone goes with us. And therefore, we have instant access to the internet and everything on it at all times. This has changed the way people meet. And it always will be this way forevermore. And it will continue to get worse because it's not the topic of this, but guys, there's a surge as predicted years ago, and it's going to happen. Trust me, watch it. Of now, people are going toward AI bots. There are many websites, more emerging all the time, where you can go on, create your own AI bot. Sometimes they call them S3X bots. You can create the personality. You don't have to meet someone in real life. You don't have to meet somebody. It's real. Just create them. And that's your boyfriend, girlfriend. Yeah, you think that's crazy? Well, it's there. Go check it out. And it's going to get way worse. Trust me. But for the time being, still, for the most part, people are meeting on dating apps and social media. And what this has done is created what's called the paradox of choice, like I mentioned. No longer do you have to look at the pool of people that you would regularly come into contact with through normal means. You now can get on your smartphone, just boop, boop, done, click, done. And you can be talking to people all around the region you live in and every surrounding city who is also on there with an online profile. You can talk to people on the other side of the world, of course, too, and in other states. But you are on there now, and you have this smorgasbord, this buffet of options. What do you suppose that does? Sounds like a good thing in theory, right? At least it did to somebody. At least it does to some people. The more options, the better. I don't have to settle for this little group. Now I can go and I can find people from all over. People talk about hypergamy, especially as it relates to females, but the idea that you want to date up and not settle for something even in your range, but you want to go up and higher, 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 better, 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 better. Well, we now have endless options. You can get on a dating app primarily if you are female, especially because it just works this way. I'm not trying to throw shade any direction. This is just a fact. Primarily, if you're a female, you can get on a dating app. If you're relatively attractive at all, you're going to get buku response. And in fact, I have told people I have had people tell me, right hand to God, promise you, that they have got off of dating apps because they get so much attention that it's overwhelming. And it's true. Do you know what kind of damage that incredible, insane amount of validation attention does to people? How much it swells their head and gives them delusional thinking? The paradox of choice comes into play, where there are now so many options that you can't settle for any of them. Well, yeah, I like this person and they're great and they're handsome and they've got this and that but I also kind of like them and 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 them. And guess what else? I can't really pull the trigger on this person because what if I meet somebody tomorrow? What if the person I meet tomorrow on here is better? And what about next month and next year? And you can see the problem this creates. And this is not fictional. This is the norm for people today. You want to know why there's so many single people? And when I say single, I don't mean they have nobody in their lives. I mean they're not in a deeply committed relationship. They're just talking to this person, dating that person, here, there, boom, boom. They got 12 people blowing up their DMs. They're talking and texting to 15 people. They're dating 2 or 3 people. They're not single in a true sense. They are just not in a committed relationship, not having a family, not getting together, not one-on-one, all in with anybody. This, guys, this is not rare. This is the norm of human civilization today. It's the norm. And what you've developed here, what we have developed, is this culture where nothing is ever good enough. Nobody is ever good enough. Yes, this person's great, but they may not be quite as good as I could get. They may not be quite as good as that other person I'm talking to on the dating app. They may not be quite as good as the person that's going to come on next week or month or year. And I just can't quite pull the trigger on anyone because the grass may be greener somewhere else. And people stay stuck in this and they live this way, and this develops a mushy brain and a delusional mind that can't settle for anything because there's just so many options. In fact, a lot of people today, they're shot. They're shot because they become so accustomed to all the attention of so many different people that the idea of one person really doing it for them out of the question. To settle down and to be committed to one person after your mind has gone through this cascade of all these other options for so long, to just cut it all off and settle on that one person now, and just them, it's only them. Unthinkable. Because that one person, no matter how great they are, can never give the amount of attention, validation, admiration that all these other people can combined. This is as highly and heavily narcissistic as it gets. Because what do we know about the narcissist? At their core, they're insatiable. They can't be satisfied. No one person or thing will ever fill them and make them feel complete or satisfied with their life. They have a gaping hole that just feeds it like Pac-Man, chomp, 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 but nothing ever fills it. It's like having a trash can with a hole in the bottom, and you just keep stuffing it full, and it goes right out the bottom. That's the narcissist. But you know what's happened because of the paradox of choice that's been created in our culture today through internet, social media, dating apps, texting? Most people are this way. Most people are very to incredibly narcissistic. This is the culture we live in. Do you wonder why one of the end time expectations is that there'll be this radical increase in narcissism? Does it say the word narcissist? No, of course it doesn't. But what it does tell us is all the characteristics. Go read 2 Timothy 3, 1 to 5, 1 through 5, and you will see all the characteristics of the narcissist. And it says specifically that this is a last days end time phenomenon, that this explodes. Jesus also said it in Matthew 24, that the love of many would grow or wax cold, like a cold breeze that blew across the earth, and people go cold and distant. And this is one of the ways they do this, because no one matters anymore. Everyone is viewed almost like a flavor at an ice cream shop. Do I want that butter pecan or Rocky Road, or do I want that chocolate vanilla swirl? Do I want cherry? Do I want coconut almond? And imagine that this ice cream parlor has dozens or hundreds of flavors, maybe even thousands. And what happens is we also have this thing that's a delusion where the options seem endless and they're not even endless. So what I mean is you're not just competing anymore against the real life people that do exist in this world. You're not even just battling all the people that are on the dating apps from all the different regions around where you live and elsewhere, which are numerous, innumerable. You're not even just battling that. No, it's much worse. You're now battling the idea of endless and countless people. Not the real ones, but the idea that there are endless options out there. And because of that, people are spoiled and unsatisfied and ungrateful, and they don't appreciate anyone, and they never settle for anything. And nor will they. That's why most of these people, a lot of people today, are going to be lifelong single, meaning dating around, sleeping around, talking to 500 people here, there, da, 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 da. But they're never going to settle down and be content with one person and live their lives that way. This, as I've said, is the most highly narcissistic thing on earth. So let me tell you, it's just crushing society. This is destroying everything. I had several other points I was going to make that are specific to the narcissist, but I don't want to because I'm telling you guys something that's really important. Is it related to narcissism? Of course it is. I'm talking about this right now. The paradox of choice is creating narcissists as we speak. It's taking the narcissists that exist and it's exacerbating their behavior, and it's creating new ones. Because we know people become narcissists by having an endless void, thinking there's always something more and something better, and that they need more options and more and more and more. And they create this void that cannot be filled, and they grow to not appreciate any one person. They grow to not respect any one person. They grow to be cold toward individuals because, well, I'll just grab another piece of fruit from the tree. This one, I liked it, but it's got a little blemish. Let me have another one. It's like a child on Christmas morning who's way overindulged and they have far too many presents under the tree. And you've seen this probably before, at least I have. And they're spoiled brats and they walk in at Christmas Day and they go through the presents. And it's just, and they stop every once in a while and look at something. Oh, wow. And they don't appreciate any of them. Sure, they might like some of those presents a little more than the other ones. They might play with them a little longer, but they're going to grow tired of them because they know that there's this stockpile of other toys. That's exactly how the narcissist is, but that's exactly how most of society has become. Is it any wonder, guys, why there are so few marriages that work? Off the top of my head, I think that we're still around 50% failure rate for first-time marriages. So that's 1 in every 2. It's been around there for a long time. It goes up from there. I think it's 67% for second-time marriages. It's 73 or 4%, I believe, for third-time marriages. Which, why would you even be trying at that point? Why are you bothering? But is it any wonder why it's so high? And that says nothing about marital satisfaction. Do you realize how many people are still married, but they're miserable, or they're cheating, or? It's a mess. And that's among married people. Do you know how many people are just monkey branch around, swinging through the jungle like a freaking gorilla? Branch to branch to branch to branch to branch, person to person, relationship, relationship, relationship. Is it any wonder why our culture, and this isn't the only reason, but it's a huge one, because when you disintegrate the core relationship between man and woman, which was God's major crowning achievement, of course, is to make man, but then he makes woman from man, and they're made to be together in union, both made in the image of God. They're supposed to be in union with one another. That's the basic fundamental building block of human existence. And then they're supposed to have children and parent them together. We have none of that most of the time anymore today. Is it any wonder why the world's a disaster? If you don't think it is, then I'm sorry to say you're blind. You have your head buried in the sand. You're delusional if you don't think it's that bad. The paradox of choice that now exists is crushing society. It's creating narcissists in mass volumes. People wonder why narcissism has exploded the way that it has. Look no farther. Yes, the culture has become increasingly corrupt, godless, which by that I don't mean there's no God. I mean they don't have the God. They don't have Christ. They don't have the Lord. What they do have, though, is another God. It's called the God of this age, the devil, Satan. Most people's God today, because everyone serves a master, most people's God today is Satan, Lucifer. That's the truth. And a lot of the reason why it's as bad as it is because we have now social media, dating apps, age of texting, Snapchat, all of these things that you put them together, people just live on this. They live in this alternative reality. It's not real. They hide behind their phones. People are scared to death to even meet up anymore. I know this from experience. Because you can talk to someone, guy or a girl. In my case, of course, it was a girl. You can talk to, or women, you can talk to women today that will build something up with you for 2 or 3 months and you think it's heading somewhere. And then when it comes time to meet, they won't do it at all. Or they will be so deathly afraid that it hardly even happens. And you go there and it's like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Even just ready to see you. That's what I mean by ready. They're so deathly afraid and maladjusted, and they're so used to infinite attention that the idea of getting real with one person almost out of the question. And why would they do that when they can just get infinite validation attention from all sorts of other people? Now, here's the dirty little secret. With all of these options, how many of them are good? How many of those people are like us, who actually bring some real value to the table, have our lives in order? Maybe you are a relatively decent looking person. Maybe you're dependable, faithful, reliable, empathic, have, like I said, a good job. Whatever the case is, you don't have to have everything. No one has everything. But how many of the people out there in this smorgasbord, this buffet of options and the paradox of choice, how many of those are good, valuable people? Very, very few. And that's the dirty secret. So it's even more of a delusion than people think, because all these options, seemingly, the vast majority of them were useless and worthless, and you wouldn't want them. People think it's so great. I'm talking to 15 people. Yeah, well, what they don't realize is 14 of them are hot garbage that are also talking to 14 other people, and everybody's playing this game. My advice for you guys is the same thing that I do. Withdraw from the whole thing. Get out of the entire system. If you're on a dating app, get off of it. Especially if you're a guy, get off of it. There's no ROI. If you're a woman, though, get off of it too. Some of the smart, wise women that I know have told me they've gotten off of them because they get too much attention and they know it's starting to mess with them. Because when you're used to that many people coming at you, good luck settling on anyone. Good luck viewing anyone as different. And I want to tell you something else. If you meet someone on a dating app, good luck getting them off of it. You will forever have to doubt, in many cases, nothing is a 100%. Let me make that disclaimer. Nothing is a 100%. But in most cases, that person is not going to get off the dating app. Or they're going to get back on when things get tough, because that's going to eat at them in the back of their mind. All those options await me. What if I just got my profile back and just to see what's on there? It's like introducing people to the power, and it's an evil power, and it deludes the mind. My advice is don't be part of this world system. All of this is part of the world system. Most people indulging in this are on the path to destruction. They are. My advice is get off of it, live your own life, be more private than most people. If you're going to meet anyone, do it organically. Do it in real life. And even then, yes, it's going to be a crapshoot. Today, it's going to be a crapshoot. I get that. But at least you're not part of this system. You're not making your mind delusional. And you're not exacerbating the problem by giving others attention and validation with little ROI or none. So, guys, I'll wrap this one up. This is a message for all of my viewers who currently watch my narcissism stuff, but anybody else. The paradox of choice is crushing society. And my advice to you, to save your life and to save possibly your everlasting life, withdraw from the system. Let everyone else participate in it. Let everyone else take the broad path that leads to destruction. Pull out, follow the Lord, and get on the narrow path that leads to life. Because all of this stuff is going to go away and be crushed. It's all going to disappear and be destroyed one of these days. Don't be part of it. So I hope everybody enjoyed this message. Drop comments below. I will come at you with another one soon. Until then, God bless.